Hey, what's up, man? Y'all already know what this is. Politics and trucking. You know what I'm saying? I got my boy Kenton Jennings in the building. Y'all already know who I am, the host of the show. You know what I'm saying? So what we want to do today is, I know this is episode number 3. Y'all seen episodes number 1 and episodes number 2. So what we're gonna discuss today is we want to actually discuss the process of actually buying a truck, purchasing a truck, and how the process works. So for the guys that y'all been working for a company for amount of time and you feel like, yo, you ready to step out on your own, go purchase your truck. We just want to talk to you guys about the ins and outs, the outs and ins of actually purchasing a truck, what it's going to take, some steps you may need to know about so you don't miss looking for the right truck, because actually there's never a right truck, but we just want to talk to you guys about the pitfalls and some pros and cons of actually going and buy your own truck. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to leave the flow to Mr. Jennings. Ken, you want to talk to the people and let them know some of the things or some of the ideas or some tricks and traits that they may want to pick up or learn about going to purchase their first truck?
Yeah, so we talk about this buying a truck. It's not just going to the lot. You take you a mechanic there, and he test drive the truck and tell you that it's all good. It's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than having your mechanic come out there with you. A lot of people do that. They'll have a mechanic come with them to look at the truck. But if the mechanic don't know exactly what he's looking for, you're gonna buy a truck that's gonna be a limit. You're gonna buy a truck that you're gonna start repairing from day one.
Right, because when I purchased my first truck, we took a mechanic out there with us, and like he looked under the hood. We test drove the truck, checked the tires, did like a pre-trip maintenance type of thing. So when I bought the truck, I really was unaware. I was green to the game, so I didn't really know what to look for, and I kind of put it in the mechanic's hands. You know what I'm saying? But lo and behold, soon after we bought that truck, there was some problems that came that he missed. So could you explain to the viewers like what how could that have possibly happened? Because I mean, you never know if you buying a lemon or you don't know if you buying a truck with problems, because if you go to the lot and the people they sell you the truck, they might do their little, what is a 40-point inspection. I forgot what that certain, they just covering the basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Pertaining to the truck and pertaining to getting the sale done. So could you explain to
which
people?
is which is gonna check out. It's gonna check out when you take your
Facts
mechanic
to
out there.
pass the inspection. Enough to pass the inspection
Yeah,
to
it's
get the
gonna check
sale
out
done.
when you take your mechanic out there. It's gonna check out. It's gonna be like, oh, this is a good truck. It drive good. It sound good. Uh, Everything seemed to be in order. But what people got to understand when they go to that lot, they got to understand who controls that lot. All this trucking business is controlled by the insurance companies. That's what you have to understand. The truck lots are controlled by the insurance company. What I do now is I deliver trucks, and a
Right.
lot of these trucks that I pick up, and from my background and learning the trials and tribulations when we had our trucks, all the money that we spent on repairs from day one, like we make some money and we give it to the mechanic. We make some more, we give it right to the mechanic.
Not just the mechanic. You talking about the towing company because they got to tow the truck
Yeah,
to
they
the
have to they have to
place.
tow the truck. All this money is going out, and who has control over all this is your insurance company. The insurance company. They got all the control. And I'm going to explain to you why I say that. It's because it's so simple. If you go to a truck lot, I don't care what truck lot you go in the United States, person like us, me and you, not having a major company like JB Hunt, Covenant, Warner, and so on and so on.
England,
Yeah, so on and so on.
Snyder.
These companies here, you cannot go on a truck lot and buy a brand new truck.
Why is that?
The only way you will be able to buy a brand new truck from a truck lot, you will have to order it. There's never going to be any, we in 2023s, there's not going to be any 2023s. Let's just talk about Freightliner on the lot. They're not going to be on there, period. If they're going to be on the lot, you can best believe it's going to say Walmart, Warner, JB Hunt, and all that, because the truck is being stored there until it's delivered to one of those companies. When Freightliner make a truck, they making it for one of them. They're not making it for the average buyer. The average buyer is only able to buy the old trucks that Walmart turn in. See, the way the system work is these major companies, when they go to Freightliner, like a new Freightliner will run you about $147,000. That's for a base model.
That's in 2023 now?
Yeah. A base model will run you about $147,000. That was usually the average price of a Freightliner when it's brand new. But that's just a mirage.
Why you say that?
Unless you go there to Freightliner and say, listen, I want a 2023 Freightliner truck. What they're going to tell you is that we could put you one on order, but it's going to be a back order because those trucks that's coming down that assembly line is for those specific companies. So what tends to happen is that we're going to take JB Hunt, because right now I do deliver trucks and I have a JB Hunt truck sitting outside that I'm delivering to Hartford, Connecticut. Correct. I picked it up in Phoenix, Arizona, to take to Hartford, Connecticut to a Freightliner dealership, Freightliner of Connecticut, Hartford. That's exactly where I'm taking this truck to. Now, what goes on, this is based off of the insurance company. What they do to these trucks, let's say JB Hunt, they ordered 10 of these trucks that's coming in. So the insurance company turns around and say, listen, we're not going to cover these trucks unless you put a governor on them, which all these trucks have. If you're a driver out there, you drive for a company, you know that you can't go over 65 miles an hour. That's why I say the insurance company controls the trucking industry. So when they get these trucks, let's say they got them in 2020. We talking about this batch of trucks that they got in 2020. Okay, so when they get these trucks, they don't pay $147,000 for them.
How much they pay for them?
They might pay half of that for each one of these trucks because they're getting them in bulk. So what they do is these trucks come automatically with a governor on them. So these companies run these trucks for a few years with this governor on there. So what that does to the truck itself is that it's not allowing the truck to move at its full potential. When Freightliner designed this truck, they put these parts on there to operate in sync with each other. So when you put that governor on there, you restrain the truck for that period of time. Let's say 3 years is the average time when they turn these in. So when Freightliner say, okay, JB Hunt, we're going to give you 10 of these trucks at $75,000. That's slashing the price of the regular consumer price of $147,000. So we going to slash these prices for you. But in addition to slash these prices, we're going to need you to take out this distribution deal because they already know that these trucks are going to have some issues to them. Why? Because now we don't. Why? Because we don't put a governor on them. So now these trucks are not doing what Freightliner actually designed them to do. They running none of that. So like a semi truck should be running at 2100 RPMs. You can get in those trucks and they running about 16. So what that do is restrain the engine from acting properly, the way it's supposed to act.
So basically, what you're saying is they basically setting you up, not to say for failure, but they setting it up for the consumer to spend money soon as they purchase the truck. Because like you said, if it's designed to be at 21 RPM and they selling it, I mean, with the governor on it, and for those that don't know what the governor, like you said, the governor restricts the engine from breathing, from working
reaching its full potential.
Potential, correct.
For insurance purposes.
Why? You know what the insurance company got to do? Oh, yeah, because they don't want you driving fast.
The insurance company don't want you driving a commercial vehicle fast because these trucks, they go about 85 to 90 miles an hour. Some of them exceed over 90 miles an hour. Like a Peterbilt, you can get all the way up to 120, just like a Porsche.
Wow.
Yeah, these trucks can move fast.
Correct.
So insurance companies say, well, we're not gonna cover your company unless you put this governor on there. Now we could cover all the trucks that you have. See, JB Hunt noticed.
Correct.
Because the conversation with Freightliner, okay, so we're gonna get these trucks at 75 a piece. But in addition to this, you're gonna get a distribution deal. Like you could go into any one of these companies and they have a separate warehouse where they store parts. Now, I had the luxury of working for a Freightliner distribution center in Duluth, Georgia, which is a parts distribution. And every time that we signed on a new company, it came with a distribution deal. So we would go through the warehouse and pull every component that's on that truck because it's going to be needed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So after 3 years, now these trucks, why I say you can't find a brand new truck on a Freightliner lot is because after JB Hunt don't use this truck for a few years, then they turn it in for credit towards the new trucks. So now we pushing up to 2023 that they don't turn in all these trucks for the new batch of trucks that's coming out. That's why you always see these companies with brand new trucks.
No matter what.
Yeah, yeah. So now this is where the consumer come in at, like me and you. We go to the Freightliner dealership and we buy the old JB Hunt truck.
Thanks.
Old JB Hunt truck, wow, it's been through all this restriction. So this engine been wanting to work for these 3 years and it hasn't been able to work like it should properly. So that's where you get all your oil leaks and all the stuff that's really finna go wrong with this truck because it's been restricted. That's the one thing you got to understand. The truck has been restricted when you go to the Freightliner dealership to buy it. So going through the money that we spent on repairs, which we know is a whole lot of money. Yeah, it's a whole lot of money. We talking about some stacks every time that truck had to go to the shop.
What was the camshaft?
Yeah, I remember one week. Shit, we spent $15,000 in 1 week on a truck. $8,500 to get the truck, the camshafts fixed on the truck, pick the truck up, and then we lost the whole
load.
We lost the whole
wiring harness.
Then they charged me $750 to tow it 5 miles. Then we had to go buy a whole new wire harness, which brand new with the weight was $2,400.
But we got a deal because we went to the truck.
Yeah, we got a deal because I said to hell with that shit. I drove back to Atlanta from Florida to go to a salvage yard.
Thanks.
And I found a harness that was made in the same place 2 days apart by going by the VIN number and all that. And I
Right.
pulled that harness like a pull apart for semis. I pulled that's Carnes in Moreland on Moreland
Facts.
Avenue. I pulled that harness off of there like a pull apart, and I drove
Right.
it back to Florida to have it put on. And it's like,
So look, listen to what he's saying, people. You had to rent the car. First, you got to get the wiring harness, buy the VIN number, get a rental car, drive to Florida, find the part, make sure they got it. To Carnes in Florida, it's like a pull apart.
nah, that was in Georgia.
Oh, that was in Georgia.
Yeah, I was in Florida.
Oh yeah, the truck broke down in Florida.
Yeah.
Facts. So you had to drive from Florida back to Georgia, get the wiring harness, uninstall it, take it off the truck like a pull apart, drive it back to Florida, get it installed. How much was the installation on that?
The installation ended up being about a couple grand because of the labor. You know, this harness went from front to back. Yeah, they had to go from front to back.
Come on, man.
Harness. So we spent some money that week, you know.
And just you said, and it was a load on the back of the truck?
Yeah.
So somebody had to come and collect the load.
Right. We lost money on the load too. So it was like, who has that kind of money when they thinking they finna get into trucking?
And you were independent like we were, you know what I'm saying? You just started out. You got your business, you got your truck, you got your business license, you got your EIN number, you got your little baby credit, maybe you got a little $20,000 credit card. You know what I'm saying? I know the game inside and out. You feel me? So this whole politics and trucking thing is based and predicated upon learning about the good part in the trucking game, the highs and the lows. You know what I'm saying? The bad part of the trucking game. We're not here to discourage you by any means. We want our people to get in the game, learn the game, find out about the game. But just know that it's not just going to be, hey, I'm making money, I'm making all this money. Anything can happen at any given time when you're in that truck. And you just got to be prepared financially, mentally. You know what I'm saying? But
it reminds me of like when my father used to tell me the right thing to do. But me being young, I didn't want to listen to him. And he would tell me, okay, so down path A, it's a big ass grizzly bear down there, and he would chop your ass up. But if you go down B, man, it's waterfalls, flowers, it's a nice walk, the weather good, ain't nothing down there. But me, I always wanted to take A. I wanted to take the A path where the bear was at because I believe I could get past it. And that's what this podcast is about. This podcast is about how we already done went through these trials and tribulations. We done lost a whole lot of money in these trucks. And so what we trying to share with you today is path A, path B. Don't go down there with the bear. So basically when you going out to buy a truck, it's not only let's see if I can take the mechanic out there and he gonna say, oh, the truck is good. Yeah, the truck's good.
That's what that what the boy did when we took him out there. You know what I'm saying? He looked up under the hood. Cause like I said, and for my young entrepreneurs or the guys that don't have a CDL, see, it's possible. You don't have to have a CDL to start a business in trucking. It's true. You can start your company. You can have the good credit. You can go and buy a truck. I did it. You see what I'm saying? And everything I'm talking about and what Mr. Jennings is talking about is based off experience. What he's saying is we're not discouraging y'all. We just want y'all to understand that, look, is have your stuff together when you jump on that battlefield.
Yeah, I'm not saying at all that you can't actually go there and buy one of those trucks that they have on the lot. I'm not saying that. Don't mistake me for saying that.
Facts.
What I'm telling you is that when you do go, besides the mechanic telling you that they good, it's one simple thing you need to have an agreement before you hand Freightliner or Peterbilt or Kenworth, any one of these companies you decide what brand of truck you decide to buy.
And
It's only one simple thing to do, and that's to say, I want this truck. Before I give you this check that I possess, I want you to send this truck back to factory. I want this truck sent back. I want it reset to factory standards. That's the one simple thing you could do. If this company say, oh, we're not going to be able to do that, then take your check to somebody who will.
Because I think when I would my thing was they mostly was selling me on what type of engine to buy, like the DD15, I think it was.
Yeah.
See people talk about that, but I didn't hear nobody say anything about that governor. You the first person I ever heard say something about a governor. Everybody was saying, "Oh, don't get the truck with the cat." Was the other one with the cat engine?
Well, the cat engine right now is basically the Cummins engine, the 450,
yeah, the
which
Cummins,
is
right.
One of the best engines and easily to be fixed by a regular consumer. After we started paying a lot of money in repairs, I started going on YouTube and fixing trucks myself. I started doing that, but the 450 Cummins engine is the least expensive engine to repair. When you get into Detroit diesel and some of the other engines, oh, they get harder. They get pricier to fix. But for somebody to have a good shot at going out, buying them a truck and starting a business and at least running it for, I'm not saying that you're never going to have any repair issues, because you are, because that's what these trucks are designed for. It's not you going in there paying the price for the truck. That's not what Freightliner or any other company is banking a revenue on. They banking a revenue on the after parts, when you have to keep coming back in there getting repaired. You know, before you buy a truck, start riding past some mechanic shop, truck shops, and seeing that it's not just an old truck sitting there. It's brand new trucks sitting in there.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to, that's one thing you have to do when you going to purchase a truck. That's the deal. Regardless of if they could throw a refrigerator in there for you, they could throw mattresses in there for you. But you want that truck you want it reset to factory standards. What that means is that is actually what the truck was designed for. That is going to eliminate you from uncostly repairs that you're going to face. Instead of just going in there buying that truck, it's good. We're going to throw you a mattress and hand me that check, and you leave out of there. And 2 weeks later, you back at the mechanic shop, not wanting, I just bought this truck. What's wrong with it?
But see, you got to look too. Another question is, like, normally when they selling the trucks, don't them sales prices, they like the mileage, like most of the trucks be having, like, when I bought the truck, I think it had about 400 and some thousand on the miles, because they supposed to go to 1 million miles, correct?
Well, I mean, a truck can actually go more than 1 million miles. It could go up to 2 million miles. It could even hit 3 at some point. Just like your Honda, just like your car.
Facts.
Yeah. What do? It's basically brand new.
Facts.
Yeah, for it to be an older car. You know what I'm saying? It's basically brand new, and you can treat the trucks that way, but you have to in the beginning give yourself that opportunity. So if you just go in there and buy that truck and you put it on the highway, you got to realize that engine is still in prison. It's still a prisoner. So that's why you got to, when you get ready to hand that check over or you make a deal, the deal ain't to give me a mattress or a refrigerator. Shit, you can get that on your own.
Right.
The deal is to reset this truck back to factory. That means it alleviates the governor. Now your truck is running at 21 RPMs the way it was designed to do. Now all the parts are working in accordance that they were designed to do. But you leave out of there with that governor on there, it's still in prison. And it's begging for a release.
Facts.
Yeah, so after that, you're gonna be in the shop. And a lot of these mechanics know this. They know this, but if they take that governor off for you,
the mechanic or the salespeople?
The salespeople, the mechanics. I'm gonna speak on Freightliner because I work for them. I know how they do. I'm not saying it's a bad company because the Freightliner is a good truck. It's a good work truck. It's designed as a work truck, and it's good. It's just that, like I said in the beginning, the insurance companies control all this stuff. They play a big part in these truck companies because they got the truck company on their knees talking about, okay, you want to run this business, this truck got to be governed. Because even as a consumer, they ask you that.
Oh, what they ask them?
Do your truck have a governor on it? How fast does it go? And you know what you need to tell them? 65. Actually 62. It might say 65 on the dash, but in reality, you're only doing 62 miles an hour.
So how does that help them out? They get lower rates on the insurance?
No, they're able to be covered. They're able to be covered by the insurance company for having multiple trucks. You able to get covered by an insurance company for having a single truck, maybe 2 trucks, maybe 5 trucks.
Right.
They'll cover you as long as they know that they call it a safety device.
The governor?
Yeah. Which is not a safety device. It's like if you have a good driver, he's not gonna do 90. You know, unless he in Texas or in some of the western states where he need to be doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we did it with the second truck we bought.
Right. Oh, taking the governor off.
That's because I learned with the first one. With the first one, I ran into an honest mechanic. And he said, part of your problem is what's going on with this truck. It's not meeting its full potential.
Which mechanic was that?
That was S&S in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if y'all
that was the most honest.
Jacksonville, Florida, and you ever get a breakdown or something, holla at S&S.
S&S.
S&S. Take the truck to them.
Yeah, that was the first repair shop I ran into that was completely honest with us. You know, as far as getting the truck repaired. And he told me, he said, listen, you know what's wrong with this truck? He said, it's this governor on here. And he broke it all down to me. And then I started putting two together. Like, I worked for these people for about 8 years. And I was excited about every time one of those major companies signed on because we got a bonus and, you know, Volvo shit, we got a watch. You know what I mean? So it flew right over my head. But that one conversation that me and this guy had was like, this is your problem right here. This is why your truck is leaking. And I started looking around, you know, at truck stops, and it was always a puddle of oil down there on the ground. It was always a lot of trucks in the shop, you know, and I was like, well, damn. So I told him, well, go ahead and take it off. He took that governor off that first truck, and that truck didn't have no more issues to it where we had to put it in the shop. It stopped having, like, it was healed, you know, and we didn't have any more problems out of that truck besides the guy messing up the death system by hitting something, hitting a pothole or whatever he claimed he hit, which I know he ain't hit no, he hit something else.
What's that? Tell them about that death system. What's that death system?
That
Then a lot of people been deleting the death system. I know that is not standard practice, but
again,
that was a problem too.
Again, that problem is all controlled by your insurance company. You know, it's all controlled by them. That's your number one person. You pay these people monthly, yearly, and you go through the whole year and nothing happens. The next year, they say, well, shit, you did good this year. I tell you what, we're going to up it a little bit more. We're not going to up it a whole lot, but we're going to add a little bit more to your coverage so you can pay us another year for something that may not happen. But so when you going, basically when you go in there to purchase a truck, that is your main concern before you hand them a check. I want this truck sent back to factory. And they're going to actually tell you they can't do it. But it's actually a simple computer program that they hook up to your computer with the truck. Because all these trucks have computers to them. And all they have to do is connect to that computer and they can reset it. And it's going to go back. The truck is going to be free. It's going to feel good. It's going to go, if it say 120 on the dash, it's going to go 120 on the dash. But I'm not saying get out there and do 120. I'm not saying when the insurance company asks you, just have a governor, don't say, yeah, I took that shit off. Excuse my language, but yeah, it's still on there. It still is. And that's going to alleviate you from having to pay all these repair bills off the top. Because, like I said, I'm sitting here with an old JB Hunt truck that's been replaced by a new JB Hunt truck. And I am taking this to Freightliner of Hartford, Connecticut, a Freightliner dealership, where they're going to clean this truck up, finish scraping off JB Hunt name off of there. They're going to look over it. They're going to do a little inspection, and they're going to put it on the lot. And somebody like us is going to come purchase that truck. We even going to bring a mechanic with us.
Some poor soul.
Yeah, he gonna drive that truck, and he gonna say it's good, and you gonna think it look good because the cleaning, they do more with the detailing of the truck than they do with the engine. They're gonna make that truck look, it's gonna be sparkly and everything, and you're gonna say, I'll take it.
Thanks.
And you're gonna call up these brokers and say, I got a truck now and I'm ready to go. As soon as you pick up one of their loads, you're gonna be on the side of the road with that truck. That's a fact. I'm not wishing nothing on nobody, but we on this podcast right here, you finna get the truth. You're not gonna get no glamour story telling you, oh, it's all good and you finna be a millionaire. No. Here, if you want to know the truth about trucking, you tune into this one. Right. That's what we're gonna tell you is the truth.
And make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button, share it. Anybody that want to know about trucking, anybody want to get some positive information, some truthful information, y'all tune in, because we're going to have mechanics, we're going to have dispatchers, we bringing in anything that got to do with the tow truck drivers, anything that got anything to do with the industry is going to be on this show. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so I wanted to get on here and share that with some people. You know, if you are planning on going out there getting the truck, besides taking a mechanic, I can't stress it enough. That is your number one thing. You don't want no mattress. You don't want no refrigerator. You want that truck sent back to factory so that truck can actually do what it was designed to do. That's like you buying a Tesla and they take the battery out of it. Now how you supposed to work it?
Facts, it ain't gonna work.
They take that battery out and put a couple Duracell batteries in there and tell you go ahead and go.
They need that, I think it's that lithium battery.
Yeah, they take that out and put some Duracell batteries in there.
Facts, it ain't gonna work.
Go ahead and go.
And what's their slogan? Door cell or copper top.
Yeah, you got some Energizer. They supposed to keep on
Man,
ticking, and
right.
then you come back 2 weeks later talking about, hey, this car ain't even charging. And they said, well, bring it in. We're gonna look at it. They're gonna charge it up real good for you, put some brand new batteries in there, and give it right back to you. Now, we're gonna stop that from the beginning. When you out here buying a truck, that should be your deal. Before you hand over any kind of check, let's set this back to factory. And to test it out, to make sure it's sent back to factory, if you can go out on that highway and get that sucker up to 85, then it's all good. That's gonna alleviate a lot of parts, a lot of repairs that you got to do, because you have to understand that this truck has been under some restraints for 2 years, and it's just like ready to burst. It's ready to burst when they pull it up on that Freightliner lot. They know this, but the consumer don't know this, because they would spend a lot of money on detailing. They would spend more money on detailing to fix anything. I remember we did the collateral swap on the truck.
Oh man, one of the coldest in the game.
Yeah, we did that. We had a truck.
Tell them that story.
We had it a couple years, and towards the end of it was a month left on the warranty, and the engine blew. I'm talking about we was like weeks away from when this warranty expired. So I took the truck into the shop, and they purposely waited. I'm telling you, these people purposely waited until our warranty was expired on this truck. And that's when they told us, the engine gone on here. You're gonna need a brand new engine. And I said, well, the truck is under warranty. They said, actually, your warranty expired a few days ago. I told them, I said, that may be so. It might have expired a few days ago, but this truck was signed in over 3 weeks ago.
Facts.
While we had a warranty.
Facts.
See, what the issue was, Freightliner, even though our truck was well in its rights and we was well in our rights to have that engine replaced, but Freightliner didn't want to do that, because engine for us to put in, like they gave us a quote, $40,000
for the engine.
Yeah, for it to be put in, $40,000 was for that engine to replace, to get that truck back on the.
I don't think no engine costs no 40 grand though.
No, it doesn't cost 40 grand.
Right.
The engine from Freightliner is about 15 to 20,000.
So what other 20,000 came?
Yeah, because we store those. The other 20,000 come in with parts and labor.
Oh.
Labor is $147 an hour, and the engine takes so many hours to complete it. We're talking about weeks to complete it.
But then you gotta think too, and that's like going to a person like an independent contractor mechanic versus taking it to Freightliner.
Yeah, I mean, with something like that,
See, that was around the time when we were new to the game, and we didn't really have a list of mechanics and people that we could just call readily available and be like, yo, man, I got this problem. This is what's going on, which it all end up working out for us in the end. But when you don't, the game is have you mechanics on deck. You feel me? Tow truck drivers on deck. And we're not just talking about for your area, your county, whatever pipeline you running, you know what I'm saying? If you running from Jacksonville to Tennessee.
We had mechanics in
every state.
A lot of states. We had mechanics that I made friends with. We even had mechanics way up in Maine. Right. If something happened up in Maine, which that's another story, something did happen in Maine.
We're
But
gonna get to that.
getting back to
Let's get to that.
getting back to that particular truck that we had, this is before I really understood the governor and all that kind of stuff. So we take this truck in there and they wait around for the warranty expire because they know when the warranty going to expire when you check it in. And we didn't get not an answer. We was calling people every other day. Hey, y'all find out anything? No, not yet. Not yet. But the day after the warranty expired, I guess they thought they had really two fools. They said, yeah, we finally got to it. We finally got to it. You're gonna need a new engine. And it's $40,000. I said, well, we shouldn't have to pay for a new engine if the engine was still under warranty. Now, actually, your warranty expired on such and such date a few days ago. I said, what do that matter when it was signed in over a month ago? It's not our fault that you got to it a few days ago.
Right.
The truck already been signed in. So they went back and forth with me about that. And when in a situation like that, you can't talk to the shop owner. You can't talk to the shop manager. You can't talk to the manager of the dealership. You got to go to the owner. And that's exactly what I did.
Facts.
I went to the owner and told him, listen, this truck was here. It was signed in. This truck was bought from y'all. And we need three things. Either give us our money back, give us a new engine, or give us another truck. Them the only three things I'm going to accept. Because I already knew that Freightliner didn't want to give us, especially me and him, you know, a brand new truck. That's basically what they was doing. When they put a new engine in there, they was actually giving us a brand new truck, a fresh start. And they didn't want to do that because I already know that, like I said, for us, that bill was $40,000. But for a Freightliner, that engine is between $10,000 and $15,000. So it's so easy for them to call over to the parts distribution center and say, hey, send us over an engine. And they put it in. They might give the mechanics a little overtime for putting it in, but it still saves them money. And what they're going to do, they're going to clean that truck up and put it right back on the lot and sell it. So I believe it was...
Nah, that guy didn't he say something? I think he had discovered that owner, like the truck, wherever they got the truck from, that was around the time, like, you know how them cars be in floods or something like that?
No, it was an old Ryder truck. I had found that out. Yeah, it was an old Ryder truck.
No, but he had said that they sold us one of the trucks, and the truck, like, it was the wrong truck to be sold anyway, based off of where the truck had came from. I'm not sure if the truck came from like a flood zone or something.
I don't know what story he
told them to say, hey man, these guys weren't even supposed to buy this truck anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I know that you called me and said, oh, they finna give us a whole nother truck. You just gotta go out there and pick up one off the lot. Right. Yeah. And going up there, it was like I kind of knew what to look for because I have been in a bunch of breakdowns. Breakdowns is not fun when you out in the middle of nowhere. You know, you got to sit out there and wait for hours and hours and hours for somebody to come out there to even look at you and tell you something, you know? Right. So they called us, I think it was November, close to December. They called us and said, we're going to give y'all another truck. And that guy was like, what'd he tell you? This first time this ever happened. Right. Right. So when I did go out there to get the truck, we went out there. I went out there to look at some other trucks. So he was trying to sell us on this one truck, which was compatible to the truck that we had dropped off. It had the same amount of mileage on it. It was the same year and all that. And that's the one that they really wanted to give up. So I went out on a test drive with the guy, and I'm an old trucker. I've been out here since 2005. I
Right.
learned how to float gears. I learned how to do all that. I floated gears for 600 miles because our clutch went out, and I was still trying to make it to our destination.
What's
And
for the people that don't know, what's floating gears?
floating gears is switching gears without using the actual clutch, using more of the gas to float gears, release the gas and giving gas to it, throttle. Using the throttle. You're not using the actual clutch. You're not
And
pushing the
how
clutch.
much that clutch was?
That clutch was Michigan was what, $4,500. But this guy got in there not knowing that
What's going on.
Yeah, not knowing that I know what was going on. He was floating the gears, and he came to a stop, and I can hear the clutch. I said, "This clutch grinding." I said, "Something wrong with this clutch." He said, "Ain't nothing wrong with this clutch." And at the time, he felt like he could talk to Trustno and not me because he felt like Trustno didn't know what was going on. And he was saying, your driver out here, this is a good truck, and your driver is telling me it's not a good truck."
Facts.
And he was like, "Well, you got to talk to him about this truck." So we ended up getting the truck. We got it December 22nd. By January 4th, the clutch was really going out. So what I did was I took it back to the dealership, but I didn't go get the salesman or anybody like that. I went straight to the service department, and I said, "Can you look at this truck for me? I don't know what's going on with it. Something is happening, and I don't know what's going on with it." I signed it in as me. I didn't sign it in as a company or anything like that. I signed it in as me.
Right.
So a few days later, I get a call saying, "Your clutch bad. You're going to have to replace this clutch." And I said, "Well, go ahead. Do what you got to do. Go on and fix it." So they ended up fixing it. Then he was happy to call me back and say, "Okay, your truck is ready." I said, "What is the bill?" And I think he said about $5,000. And I said, "Well, good. I'll be out there to get it. But I'm not paying no $5,000 for it because I just picked this truck up from y'all on the 22nd of December. And I'm pretty sure all this is covered. When I picked this truck up, I said it was a problem with the clutch. And when they found out, oh shit, it's him again." They said, "Come out here and get this truck." So we ended up not paying $5,000 for the new clutch. We got the new clutch basically for free because I told them before we picked it up, it was something wrong with this truck. But that goes to show you that if they feel like you don't know what you're talking about or don't have any knowledge of what's going on, they're going to get over on you. So what this podcast is about is giving you a little knowledge. So if you go in there talking about, "I want this truck set back at factory," they automatically know we're not going to play with these people. We is not going to play with these people because if they know that much, then ain't no telling what they know. So that's how you have to play them, really, is let's get this shit set back. So when we bought the second truck, the one we paid cash for that one, and it was like
30 something, no 40.
Before I do this wire transfer to you, I need something done. He said, "What, you need a mattress? You want?" Because it was supposed to have double bunks. They was offering to put the other bunk in there, which is like $3,000 just for that little bunk that comes down. So it have two in the sleeper. That shit cost $3,600. He said, "Yeah, we can put one of those in." You need
double bunk.
Yeah, they're gonna put in new mattresses. So I said, "Okay, fine, put that in there." But what I want is this truck sent back to factory. And he was like, "Whoa, we're not gonna be able to do that." I said, "Well, I ain't gonna be able to do this wire transfer to you." So I got up and I was getting ready to leave. I was leaving. And they said we could do it. They sent that truck back to factory, and we made the wire transfer and paid for the truck. That truck didn't have not a single issue besides a moose.
Oh, what?
A moose.
Oh, yeah. When the boy hit the moose.
Yeah, that was the only issue that had back up in May.
Damage.
Yeah, huh?
What when the thing got caught up in what?
It ripped out the whole bottom, basically. Transmission and all that. Yeah, $12,000. Yeah, that truck. That we got that in December, and it was already messed up in March. That truck didn't even get, because I had bought the trailer right after that. That was the first time the trailer went out after we bought the trailer. That was the first time it went out, and it was like, damn. Yeah, that was crazy. But that wasn't due to the governor. That was due to a moose out there, up there in Maine. So if you in Maine, when they say break for the moose, believe it. Break for the moose, and keep your eye out for them mugs, because they do travel across 95. They are back and forth across that. US 1, you have to be careful because them babies is out there. They is out there.
That's crazy.
The moral of this whole thing is you could do yourself a simple justice when you purchasing the truck by, number one, having that truck reset back to factory. That is your main objective when you do find your truck and you pick out a truck. You want to ask those questions. Does this truck have a governor on there? And if they say no, tell them to reset it anyway. You want a reset truck. So that I'm not saying that it's going to alleviate all the repairs, because these trucks are built to break down, but it's going to minimize the repairs that you're going to face. Because trucking, that is your number one thing in trucking, is keeping that truck on the road. And if you already got a handicap, then it's going to hurt you. You're going to lose money instead of making money. But if you do a repair here and there, that's fine. But if you're going to be doing repairs as soon as you get it, I got a cousin, and I told him this. I said, before you go over to get that truck, you need to have them reset that truck.
And what did he do?
He didn't have them reset that truck.
And what happened?
He ain't even picked up anything in that truck because it's been broke down since he got it. That go back to, don't take path A, take B.
Facts.
But he was like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going on path A. I got these. I'm gonna get bear right on out of there. He hasn't moved that truck. Actually, I think it's on the verge of them going to get that truck, because he hasn't made the payments either, because he ain't made no money off the truck. The truck has been broke. And the repairs that he's facing,
how much?
More than what the truck costs.
How much is the repairs?
I mean, they up there. They up there. From what he told me is that these repairs, they're more than what the truck costs. I can buy a whole new truck instead of repairing that.
That's crazy, bro.
But you could have did that simple thing. I'm telling you, y'all, this is a simple thing to do. It's a computer. That's all it is. It's a computer. That's a program. It's nothing that the mechanic got to get under the hood, and he don't even have to get under the hood for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there under your steering wheel. He just have to open your driver's door up and hook his computer up to the computer truck outlet. It is right there by your door. That is the difference between you buying a truck and then starting right off the bat repairing the truck. It's simple. This is some free knowledge for you to save some money.
Free game. Free game.
Free game. Free game to least get you in the first year positive money.
So that's right, because that's where you want to stay. You want to stay in the red. Well, actually, you want to stay in the black, not the red.
Yeah, you don't want to go. You don't want to buy a truck and then right off the bat you starting to repair, because what tends to happen, that's when you start backsliding and falling behind, because if that truck ain't moving,
you ain't making
that
no money.
mean they don't want their payment. When the payment due, I don't care if they give you 90 days, 45 days to make your first payment. If your truck's been 3 weeks in the shop, that's cutting into that 45 days. Now you got to go out there and at least try to get a load. And who's to say, because we don't have a truck repaired one day, and shit, a few days later, the truck is broke. I used to hate calling him. I used to hate it.
I used to hate getting the calls.
I was like, damn, I got to call. And I had to sit there for a minute. Let me call this man. Tell him.
Now you talking about run that credit card,
a couple of days ago,
9,000, 5,000.
You're gonna have to drop another.
Who?
And you like, yeah, it was like, oh man, I gotta call him again. I'll wait a day.
These kind of numbers, you know what I'm saying? Your money gotta be right when you get in the game, dog. If your money ain't right,
right.
I don't recommend. Like I said, I'm not here to discourage nobody, but make sure you mentally and financially stable and ready to go for when you jump out there on that battlefield. You dig? But if you're not ready to jump on that battlefield, I will advise, don't do it right now, man.
Had we knew
capital,
we knew about
keep working for a company and stack your money, get your credit right. We're gonna talk about all that in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're building up the show. This is just episode number 3. But
I wanted to say, had we knew a lot of this knowledge
facts
at first, then possibly we could have been having a conversation at the end of the year and sitting like, man, what you do with all the money, man? You smoking crack? You smoking?
When I did the taxes and the lady, when I showed my CPA, I had this many receipts. You hear me? This many receipts. But out of all the money that's been made, all that money went to repair costs, driver, fuel.
Yeah.
What was left over, and I reinvested it back into the company. You got your credit card or whatever. Credit cards got to be paid. If that credit card ain't paid every month, you paying interest hitting you. So, like I said, it's a lot that go into it, and
that governor plays a whole big part of the truck, even down to the fuel, because it's spitting out more fuel because it's working harder than it's supposed to work. It's working harder than it's supposed to work, so it's drinking up a lot of fuel too. You know, so that one little thing plays a whole big part in everything that is going on.
Chain reaction
of that truck. Yes.
That's damn near like the pineal gland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not working, so everything else is not going to work. It's going to work, but not like it was designed to do. That's what we basically trying to get you to understand. We want you to go in there fair. We want the playing field to be fair when you go in there. Not that they up and you down 2 points. We want this game to be tied. If they're gonna sell you this truck, because they banking on you to come back. That's what I'm telling you. The salesman is not they're not concerned about selling that truck. They give that truck for $1 as long as they know that you're gonna come back. Commission. Huh?
The salesman is just trying to get his commission.
They gonna give you that truck. They give you that truck for a whole $1 because they know that you finna spend $140,000 within the time that you had this truck getting it repaired.
Facts.
Yeah, so it's not them selling the truck to you, because if they was really honest and really wanted to sell a truck to you, all these trucks would come like they was originally made to come. Yeah.
Hey, you ever thought like when after they done with the truck and they ready to ship it off and sell it, why don't they take the I mean, like let's say they done came to the end of their term with the insurance company. Okay, we know we about to sell this. Okay, why not make a phone call to their mechanics and say, okay, we got 10 trucks coming in, go on and factory reset everything. Why they don't do that?
Because it's still Freightliner. It's still a part of the business. I'm
Right.
just speaking on Freightliner, but
They
all
want
of
you
them do
buying
it.
their parts.
Huh?
They want
It's
you
not.
buying the parts.
Yeah, if you haven't heard anything tonight, it is not the sale of the truck. It is the aftermarket where Freightliner makes their money. I can speak on Freightliner because I don't work where they make their money. When we distribute so many parts, it's a party. We can top-notch barbecue meals. Shit, we even had a chef come out one time to feed us because Duluth was the #1 parts distribution center. We service trucks way over here on the West Coast. You know,
Right.
we pull parts for these things. We box this shit up, and people came pick the parts up and deliver them to these companies that they had to go to. We was #1. So it wasn't that, and they used to preach this too. It's not the cost of the truck. That's not where we make our money. We make our money in the aftermarket.
Right.
Like you could, like I said, challenge me. Go into any one of these truck companies and go to the shop, and I guarantee you they got a whole storage or warehouse with all kind of parts. Every component that's on that truck is stored there. It's stored there. So if they was planning on having very good trucks for these 2 years and nothing was gonna go wrong with them, then why would they even have a warehouse full of parts?
No need to.
That's why they get it at a discount, because they know that, hey, you want this truck at $75,000, sign this distribution deal too.
And that's similar to what you was telling me about the charger, the phone charger.
Right. The same thing with Apple. You got to go keep replacing those phone chargers. Now they so bold with it, they just give you the cord. They don't even give you the other end to plug into the wall. You got to get that on your own.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because they feel like, okay, we're gonna keep this phone going, not on the side of making a new phone every 6 months. What we up to, a 19?
It sound like
19 Pro.
Look, it sound like the California gold rush, when everybody was gearing up to go out there and get the gold, because they started telling everybody, hey, we got gold out here. Come on and get some of this gold. Come get some of this gold.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple guys that said, you know what? We're going to let them go get the gold. They got to pass through here. So when they pass through here, instead of us going out there digging for the gold, we just going to sell them the shovels. You did?
Yeah.
You feel me? Y'all got to think. You feel me? It's a lot. It's a lot of information that's need to be heard and need to be put out here. And so many people are so gung-ho about getting rich no later than Friday. And I'm going to continue saying that, because that's just the climate that we in. It's the culture of the environment. Everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to be a millionaire. Everybody want to ball. Everybody want to, man, you got to be smart. It's about being smart, being patient, stay humble. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
If it's designed for you to get, you're going to have it, you know? But if you want to jump out there and go ahead out there, you just got your Navy Federal credit card, you got your little $20,000 or $25,000. I know all about it, man. I done been through it. I know the numbers. I know the scores. I know what it's gonna take to make it happen. I know the salesman. Trust me. We just giving y'all free game. You dig? So, like I said, when it's your time to ball, you're going to be able to ball. But just be humble and stay prayed up. Do it the right way. And not saying it's a right or wrong way to do it, but just be patient, man. Just be patient. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. We not, because trucking is here. That it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere at all because you can't land no plane in the back of Walmart and deliver no product to them. Ain't no railroad tracks coming over here to Walmart to deliver anything.
Even with the AI, like they're coming out with the self-driving trucks. It's gonna be that's down the road. That's come.
Yeah,
They got
it's coming,
self-driving
but
trucks
yeah,
now.
we still it's trucking is here to stay. That was it. That's all only thing with trucking is the trucks are getting smaller. That's it. The trucks are getting smaller. We going to box trucks, we going to hot shots, but the trucking game is not going nowhere. It's only getting smaller. You know, like they trying to do something with the hot shot. They wanna regulate and put a lot of rules on the hot shot because it's still fairly new. And now they starting to get partial loads. Now we doing partial loads and stuff like that. But it's nothing. The semi, I mean the commercial vehicle and trucking, that is not going anywhere. So it's not something that's unsafe to get into. You just need to know how to get into it, and you need to know, when it comes to that's because that's the number one thing. You can't be in trucking if you ain't got the truck. So we just want to share. We want to share with you some things you need to do when you out there getting ready to make that decision to even purchase a truck.
Right.
Yeah, we want to make sure that it's an even playing field. I don't know. I might get assassinated for telling y'all the truth, but I don't care.
It is what it is.
It's just
need to hear the truth.
We just want to enlighten you on about getting, when you're starting to get in this business, some stuff you need to know that is not shared with you. Only thing shared with you is what the mechanics say. And if you got the wrong mechanic, he doesn't know. I mean, because
he trying to get you to keep the truck in his thing.
Just because you bring a mechanic, we don't dress it up enough where it's gonna slip by him.
Hold on, you keep talking.
Yeah. It's gonna slip by the mechanic, So as long as you know that that's what the deal is. I don't want no mattress. I don't want you to put no refrigerator in here, no CB. I just need you to reset this truck back to factory. And I'll handle the rest because you're going to have money in your pocket to get a mattress, a refrigerator, inverters, CBs, because you're not going to give it right back to them for the repairs. What sense do it make? You go in there, you put your down payment down or what have you, whatever, your credit good, you don't have to put a down payment, however you do. Nobody expect to be paying that kind of money and then their truck is right back in the shop right after they finish signing those papers. They go out maybe a couple times and now they pulled into a repair shop trying to get that truck repaired. When it's so simple. Like I said, they don't even have to go under the engine. The computer is right there, right next to the steering wheel on the bottom when you open up the driver's door. All they do is connect to that. And they run the program to reset because all these engines nowadays are really computerized, especially when you get into the Cummins 450, which is the red engine for anybody that don't know if you got one, is that one. And that is mainly a whole computer. And that's all it takes. It took about an hour for them to run that program and to reset everything. An hour is the difference between paying a lot in repairs and not paying a lot in repairs. And if they can't do that for you, then you are at the wrong place. Take your money and move on to somewhere else. Or if you feel like you got a person that can reset that truck for you, as soon as you pick it up, you take it right to them and have them reset it. Because you will hear the salesmen say they ain't gonna be able to do it. You will hear that. I'm telling you that right now. You will hear that. Because not only are they trying to get their commission, they still work for the company. And the company wants that truck back. That company wants that truck back in their bay so they can repair and send you a bill for that. So they can continue to make money off of you. Your little money that you put down and buy the truck with is not enough for them. They need you to be coming back for a while.
Facts.
Yeah.
So that, and like you said, if you finance the truck, then throughout the duration of your contract, 36 months, 24 months, however long, you know what I'm saying, depending on how you pay it off or if you pay cash, it's still the same game. You're going to be in that repair shop. The key to this thing is, let's take that governor off that truck, factory reset it, and then hope and pray that you don't have to be in the repair shop. You could just be making your money, getting your fuel, paying your driver, collect your profit, get you another truck, reciprocate the process. You know what I'm saying? Build you a company. That way you able to compete with the bigger companies, grow your company. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you in it for. But if you just want one truck, we understand that too. You know what I'm saying? 2 trucks, that's all good. You there? So with that being said, anything else you want to tell them, Mr. Jennings?
I mean, it's a lot of stuff I want to tell you.
I mean, we got episode 4 coming next. We got so much to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
But if you need a question answered, you gonna give them the tag where they can send in their questions.
Oh yeah, and also if y'all want to be a part of the show, y'all can hit the business email info@trustnodesigns.com. Y'all just leave a message, leave your information. We're gonna make you a part of the show. And like I said, we're looking for anybody that's in the industry, whether it's 18-wheelers, hot shots, mechanics, dispatchers, anybody that's in the trucking industry. We want to bring you up, tell your story, you know what I'm saying, and just get the information out to the people. We're going to share information. We're going to network amongst each other, and we're going to continue to build. And like I said, y'all hit that thumbs up button. Y'all want to get in the comment section, leave a comment, and hit that share button. You feel me? I appreciate you guys for taking time out y'all night or taking time out y'all day to watch this broadcast, and stay tuned because the next one is coming up soon. Blessings and abundance to you all. We out. Kent, you got something to say?
No, I'm waiting on the next one. Like I said, you heard him. If you have questions, email us, and we'll do our very best to answer them. If you have something you want to share, same way, shoot us an email, and we can invite you on here so you can share your story. We just all need to work together and, sharing information so we all can make it out here.
Facts.
This is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing.
Facts. So we out, y'all.
All right now.
All right, peace.